Oh, wait, it went really fast. I'm going to put my theme. Tom Show. Hey everyone, sorry about that. I was watching my Twitter feed to retweet that the show was live, and apparently there's like a 5-second delay on what's actually live and what's live on Twitter. So I was like, oh crap. It's not like I just roll out of bed and do this show 5 minutes ago. Hey everyone, I'm Tom. This is
this way. Sorry.
No, you got to make sure that the gal, the wife, the girlfriend is taken care of. I've had to angle my camera so my wife could still have access to the kitchen.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to make sure.
Yeah, because they don't.
Pointing like towards the wall bit.
I totally had my shirt up and I saw you.
Well, hey, I don't want to get taken down by YouTube, but people talking about shirts off might bring some viewers in. I'm not going to lie. A lot of old white dudes here in the audience. This is cool. He's the Giraffe boss. The Giraffe gang, my sponsor up in the corner. We got a baby. Show's over now. We're not going to be talking about anything but babies from now on. I adore babies. I love being an uncle. What's the baby's name?
His name's Liam.
Liam.
Looking excited.
What a cute. Hi, Liam. Hi, buddy. Real quick, I want to speak some words that you wrote for me since you're the sponsor of the show. The Giant Giraffe Gang is a budding project coming out of Southern Ohio. They can be found on the Wax blockchain, and I love the Wax blockchain.
Be sure to get your keyboard.
Cheap, it's easy. A lot of my friends, we got rugged by Topps when they released their baseball cards and then decided to change platforms. So, my friends, I know you have cards and money and Wax. Cole's not the only one. There's a lot of people coming over from Ethereum and Sol and Tez to Wax because it's such an easy platform. Not a lot of gas fees, and then because there's no gas fees, there's not a lot of computer processing, so it's a lot better for the environment. Just a little bit of commercial.
Yeah, it's actually 100% certified carbon neutral.
Perfect. Well. There you go.
So.
And there have been great projects all the whole time on Wax, but more people are just coming to it now. So you were in early if you bought Topps packs. Now you can just get ahead of everyone else. We welcome everyone, all users, regardless of sexual orientation, religion, language, or beliefs. We aim to help relieve the NFT space of gaslighting, hatred that has started to take root in the space, and are big on putting in the work to get the recognition we all deserve. They hope you consider joining the herd. I have the custom Tom Show ones that he made for the show. That was how they sponsored us.
Okay.
We've sold 2 of them, so hey, 2's not bad. I've given away 5, I think. So nice. I have some for sale, and they're really cheap, but it's just you're helping pay for the StreamYard sub, and you're getting Cole a little bit of money, and then just hoping that people will take it seriously. And the 20 that I put for sale, if I sell those out, the price is going to double. So it was like 0.015 ETH, and then it's going to be 0.03. So
I'll have to make you another Tom Show wrap for the Wax blockchain, bud.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I have the Sailor Moon, one of the first 5. I had enough Wax because you mispriced it, so I didn't know that at the time. I was like, he's giving this away. That's silly. And you're like, oh yeah, that was you. Yeah, I totally mispriced that. Don't worry about it. And I was like, good, because I have no RAM and I can't do anything with it anyways. It's stuck in my wallet.
No, it's all good, man. that was back when I was like kind of pricing things by USD instead of wax, and but I had accidentally left it set to wax, so I was pricing my pieces at like $5 USD, and accidentally left one set to 5 wax, which was like what, like $1.30 at that point.
To be fair, I did have $5 in wax, so I would have bought it at that price, but it wasn't listed at that, so I was just like, I'm gonna help my buddy out, and I'm gonna buy it.
I'm glad you got that one though.
My wife loves Sailor Moon, so I thought I bought it because it was cute. There was one I think had sold, and then there's like 3 or 4 left, and I was like, well, that's the one I want. Hey baby. So cool. I know we just went on this huge rant about everything, but tell us about yourself.
I mean, not much. You see it constantly here at my desk working. Mainly for that baby that you saw there.
Absolutely.
And my wife and 2 cats. But yeah, I mean, I got a 10-month or 11-month-old now. He's turning 1 next month. There's one of my cats.
Oh, cats too, man. This is gonna be off the rails. It's gonna be so much fun. I love animals. Yeah. I love babies. They love me. Adults don't love me. So I guess I'm just a simple person. So so yeah, to give us a little bit of history, a brief history. You don't have to go into details, but about yourself, how you grew up, and all that fun stuff.
I mean, I grew up mainly in the state of Texas. I was born in Portland, Oregon. Went from Portland, Oregon to Korea because my dad was stationed there, and mom decided to go with for some reason. And then Korea to Texas, and then I spent most of my life there until high school. Graduated there, moved back to Oregon with my dad to kind of like reunite ties there because my parents are divorced. We don't need to get too much into the dark because
we want to keep it light. But if the darkness is part of your story, you could tell it. I'm not going to cut you off from telling your story. So
yeah, so moved out to Oregon, kind of like reunite with dad, and then met my wife online through a mutual friend of ours. I had a buddy that I gamed with, and I became friends with the buddy's sister, which was friends with my wife. And so I ended up like meeting her through them, through mutual whatever. And we just started talking and eventually moved out to Ohio, which is where I'm at now. And the rest is history, man.
I heard Ohio is for lovers, so it makes sense to me. I keep preaching this. People, there still is a stigma about like your online friends or versus your real life friends. Your online friends are probably better than your real life friends because you are 100%. Choosing them. They are choosing you, and it's not a location situation. This is I'll dig this person situation. So it's not a proximity like, oh, we're friends because we're the same age and we went to school together, which, those people are amazing most of the time, but it's like your online people, they choose you. Like we somehow chose each other. I don't know how we got connected. Someone either said, follow this guy, he's awesome, or it was a contest that someone tagged me in and I liked the art. And I was like, okay, I'm following. You get tagged in those like tag 3 friend giveaways all the time. And you're just like, okay, thanks for thinking about me. But no, this project looks like Duke. But either someone said you're awesome, or it was like, hey, Tom, win this contest. And I was like, I like that art, so I'm going to enter that. So it's one of those 2 ways we met. And then we just kind of just back and forth banter. If you know me on Twitter, if we're friends and I see your tweet, I'm probably going to respond to it or tweet it or whatever. And then you and I just joke back and forth, one about hiring me as a social media manager. I was like, yeah, I could do this. And you're like, I'm not going to hire one. And
I'm not going to pay you, bro.
Yeah. And then, just joking around. But it was like, that's how quick these like friendships and like Twitter friendships, especially, you're like, okay, I follow this person. And then like 3 weeks later, you're like DMing each other like, hey, how are you? Check this out. Let me know what you think here. And it's just become so awesome. And, I really appreciate you. And then, your wife, or she was like, had something going on Twitter. You're like, wish her luck, and then I did and followed her, and I said, I'm Cole's biggest fan. I'm gonna push him, and she's like, awesome, and then we had that little interaction. She's not on Twitter a lot, but she knows I'm here to support. She doesn't
understand Twitter.
I don't think most of us really do. So that's his Zelda hat, right? That's the little annoying fairy from. Yep. Yeah,
my hat's dirty as hell. I don't have a dishwasher, so
salt-stained Broncos hat. I agree. So you're into video games? You want to talk about that? Yeah, tell us about your gaming history.
My gaming history. All right, so the first console I ever owned. This might reveal my age a little bit, but first console.
Well, happy birthday, by the way, everyone. This is Cole's birthday.
It's my birthday.
He's like 22 years old. He's a child.
29, bro. Come on.
You're 14 years younger than me, so you're still a child in my eyes. Not that you're not an adult, but you've got a long. I'm hoping fingers crossed, super long history ahead of you. So yeah, tell us about your first console.
First console I grew up with was as far back as I can remember was a SNES. Mm-hmm. Played Mortal Kombat religiously, literally as like a 3, 4, 5-year-old playing Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it tells you what kind of parents I had.
Absentee parents, like this will entertain the kid and he'll shut up.
Yeah, here you go. It's video games. This is for kids, right?
Yeah.
Not knowing there was an M+ rating on it. But yeah, anyways, went from that to Nintendo 64. Eventually graduated to PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I had an Xbox 360 in there at some point, as well as PlayStation 3. All of which I don't have anymore because the crap got stolen out of an apartment I had years ago, which was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, now all I have is a Nintendo Switch and my PC. I switched to PC gaming like late high school, like maybe senior year. I got huge into World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I'm still playing. You gave me the other day. You're like, how is it? I'm like,
yeah, I don't miss the grind, man.
That's all it is,
Now I'm all about that daily grind, trying to make some crypto art and trying to prove to my kid that you can follow your dreams and still be successful at it.
Yeah, and it is hard. If you're not in with the influencing shiesty crowd, if you don't have the money already to throw down an NFT space, you have to just work your butt off.
Oh yeah.
And better than I do, of course, because you're actually doing it. I just retweet my friends and shout my friends out. You know what I mean? Like I'm not actually trying to make a project. I did the Duck Buck. Those are my first NFT friends. They wanted me to help them out, and I was talking to them. So that was good, and I know that grind a little bit, but like there's so much that goes into it. And just know, like, I can't draw, and I appreciate people that do. Your art, I dig your art. You've got some great stuff. And yeah, I just, full-time job, you got a kid, you're trying to make this, project off. And not only that, I'm sure you've got like a million ideas to go along with your project too.
Of course, dude.
But you just need that initial little takeoff so you can start, getting that fun going. I saw you had a Pokeball tattoo.
Oh yeah. I got a Pokeball. I got
Triforce.
I got matching Triforce to the hat.
Nice, yes.
And then I got Spider-Man on the left.
Hell yeah.
I got the semicolon, never give up thing, and a little smiley face on my hand because
you into the games, Pokemon, the cards, what?
Yeah, I got a whole crap ton of cards up there.
I have a lot of friends. I'm in the card collecting hobby, Twitter, and so many people are into Pokemon. We're into Pokemon and getting back into Pokemon. So it's huge right now. Have you bought any lately, or is this all just kind of old stuff?
Unfortunately, I don't have all my old stuff anymore. That's something else that got stolen along with the systems I had. But I had like fossil packs, like all that stuff, dude. Growing up, that I hadn't even opened and stuff, and all that's just gone.
That's so depressing.
That would have been like the perfect entry into the NFT space.
Yeah.
But hold on, let me actually grab a couple of my binders that I've been working on.
Absolutely, yeah. We'd love to take a look at that. Yeah, I just while he's getting that, I just found out before the show I saw his tattoo and asked him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm into Pokemon." I was like, "We got so much to talk about." So I was just telling them how I just found out about right before the show that how huge you were into Pokemon. I was like, "Man, we're gonna have a great show." Yeah, because not only do you play video games, not only do you make art, you collect Pokemon cards. This what my show is all about. It's I love all of that, so it's gonna be good times.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Show us what you got, homie.
All right, man. So I recently started collecting the jumbo cards. So
Oh wow,
I got a couple of these. I don't have a whole lot right now, to be honest with you. At least it's not as much as I would want to have. Because it's kind of hard to afford a hobby as expensive as Pokemon when
yeah, you got mouths to feed and jobs to do.
Yeah. I mean, I got a few of the jumbos.
Where do you get the jumbos? I'm not super familiar with those.
Those come in the
elite battle trainer boxes.
No, it's not the elite trainer box. It's the one that has the 5 packs in it, and it comes with a jumbo.
Oh yeah,
usually it'll come with a coin.
Yeah, I've seen those. Okay.
Yeah. And then here,
Peek-a-butt.
Gotta love the peek-a-butt. These are all my rarer cards. I don't know if it's easy to see what I got here.
The people that know Pokemon will be able to tell. I'm not super familiar with it. I play the video games. I got the McDonald's cards and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cards, but that's about it.
I missed out on the McDonald's cards, man. I'm so mad. Because literally after right after the McDonald's cards went live, around here, they ran out of them immediately because people were so hyped over them.
Well, that or a lot of managers were backdooring them too. We were seeing that in the hey, here's a whole case of the McDonald's Pokemon cards, and it's that's just disgusting because not just us adults, we want a little bit of the nostalgia, but to just rob kids like that from their Happy Meals, it's insane.
Yeah.
So how long you've been collecting these for a while? You said they got stolen, but it's what got you into them to begin with?
I mean, just growing up, being a kid in the 90s and early 2000s, man, they were the hype thing then.
Oh yeah, it was.
And then I was super into playing the games, of course, on the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance and stuff. Yeah, the rest of this binder is just 2 different sets that I was working on that are incomplete.
Well, if you need help with that, I'm sure we could ask some of my buddies. I'll send a clip, be like, "Hey, Cole needs some Pokemon help." Because if you're just collecting the set, they're probably commons or something, so it won't be too bad.
Well, most of what I'm missing is actually just it's actually more of the more rarer cards.
Oh, it is the harder to find ones.
Yeah. And then I don't know. This whole binder is just basically one of each Pokemon card that I've collected so far. It's nothing too special. But the one thing I am proud of here in the back.
That's awesome.
Is
we love the binders here.
This boy right here. Crap. I need to get him graded, but
it's a Charizard of some sort.
Yeah, that's XY, I believe.
Okay.
10 that came out of.
That's awesome.
But I mean, Charizard's Charizard, bro.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the way cheaper ones, but it's still at least worth $60 to $120.
Yeah, that's pretty good. No, that's awesome. See, I love binders. I love collectors that, like I want to display my cards in a way that appeals to me. And it's just seeing that it's just so much fun. What other hobbies do you have?
I got some pop figures up there. Not too many of them. But I'll just
Yeah.
turn my camera. I don't want to pull my whole shelf down.
My wife had like,
But
she has like a ton of them, but yeah, we've got a few.
my
That's
favorite
cool.
is the Doc and Einstein.
Yeah.
Just some Dragon Ball Z characters up there. A couple comics. Ah, crap! I just knocked something down.
Oh no! We're destroying the house. Don't destroy your setup.
Yeah, a couple comics. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
special.
you're just kind of into a little bit of everything, just like a kid would Spawn. Yeah,
Spawn.
love Spawn.
And Youngblood.
Youngblood, yeah.
And a little bit of Justice League Task Force.
Like whose art are you inspired most by? Is there like a specific artist or a comic, or is it real art or real art? You know what I meant.
I don't know, because like I jump around to like a whole bunch of different styles like all the time. I mean, I'm sure you've seen like the charcoal drawing I was working on for my son
For a
a while
kid,
back.
yes. I watched you on Twitch one time.
I didn't finish it. I got like 14 hours in, and my wrist started just killing me. That's why I draw these giraffes. I mean, they're really simple. They're not really hard on my wrist. I don't have to get in and like make the same detail like 50 million times in a row.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm inspired by everything. I'm kind of an idiot savant. I love playing music. I'm a guitarist, play piano, I play drums. Basically anything you put in my hands, I'll pick up, and like, given an amount of time, I'll at least pick up something.
Yeah.
Be able to play something.
I hate you.
I hate
you can play idiot like instruments and drawing. It's like all the stuff I wish I could do but don't have the talent for. You're like my hero, man. It's like,
dude, trust me.
So jealous.
I hate myself because I can't master anything, which is why I'm stuck in the position.
I tell that all the time. Like I'm a kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to like a lot of stuff, and it sucks. Because you're a master of none, and you got to be a master to make money.
Yeah, well, there's a finishing statement to that saying, actually, that you don't really get to hear. I don't know if you know. Let me try to remember. Jack of all trades, but a master of none is always better than a master of one.
Yeah,
is the complete saying.
Master of puppets. Where does that fall in the list? Because that's what I want to be.
You gonna start doing some ventriloquy?
I can't even say that word. I just meant like mind control and having minions. Like I want to be like an overlord. But ventriloquist, I mean, that'd be terrifying too, to be a ventriloquist. I couldn't do it. I took like a class when I was a kid, like magic and ventriloquism, and I was like, I suck at all of it. Because I would reveal the trick, like, hey, it's actually this, and this is how you do it. And they're like, you're out of the magic club. And I was like,
but you should never reveal the secret.
Yeah. And then like I walked into like, I went to Vegas one time, long time ago with some friends, and they went to this magic shop, and they're like, the guy was doing tricks. I was like, oh, I know how you do that. He's like, get out. I was like, all right. Like, I'm sorry.
Definitely. Yeah, I had to take a little drink break there.
Yeah. I mean, I talk so much, it gets so dry. You just got to take a drink. So do you want to tell us about your giraffe project? Like, how did you get into NFTs, and what kind of started you on this idea?
Well, the first thing I say anytime someone asks me how I get into NFTs is Gary fucking V.
Yes.
I think that's going to be the answer for a lot of people these days. Because all the people that were like super early to it have already been here and done it, and now you're starting to see a whole bunch of people getting onboarded, mainly because of Gary V. He's such an advocate for the space and really inspiring, in my opinion.
He could be a polarizing figure. I don't follow him that much. I could see both sides a little bit, yeah, he is really great for stuff. And then I could see the people that complain that, he kind of just pumps his own stuff. But I don't believe he's like evil or malicious or, like out to do something negative. He's just trying to show people like, hey, you can hustle and work your butt off and you can, do things. And, that message, that's always a great message, like just work really hard. And then die broke because you don't have the skills to master anything, Tom. No, I had a friend, Gaby. He was on a show a few weeks back, and he was talking about how Gary Vee, inspired him to get into card collecting. But it was more about like Gary. He got into more eBay flipping of like, just go to junk shows and find stuff on eBay, that hustle. Then it became cards, for him. But for you, it was just like, how did you find Gary Vee? Like,
TikTok.
Okay. Yeah. You're big into TikTok. And you can send me your link and stuff, and I can post links on the recap video so everyone has access to your stuff. So remind me afterwards when we do that. So everyone could get the coal that they need in their life. So you just created a TikTok, account. You're doing your thing. You're doing your dances with your wife, and then you just saw Gary Vee, and he inspired you. And then you just like, I love this guy, and I want to, know what he knows and listen to, what he has to say. So then, how did the NFT like? I need to make an NFT. How did that come along?
Well, I mean, I've always been like super artistic, doing stuff like that. And then like when I found out like there's this whole movement of like cutting the middleman out of creators and like, so hard to explain.
Yeah, you're cutting out the agents, you're cutting out the distributors. You have total rights to your art, like if you think about it for like musicians, you write the songs and you play the instruments, but then basically they're like, hey, here's an advance to get you to do that, and we take most of the money because we have to do most of the work selling it and putting it out there. Oh, don't worry, you'll get some royalties, but it takes 9 million views on or listens on Spotify to get 12 cents. So it's like, you're cutting all of that out and it all goes to you, like
right.
Minus the platform fee, which is minimal compared to what the agents and the publishing companies would take. So no, Lance, Wolf of Wall Street, Rossassi McRossi, or whatever he goes by now, Lance the Don, we talked about that, and that was going to be huge, especially for music NFTs. Like these artists can release their albums and have all of the money, and it's not going to go to anyone else, and they control everything. And that has to be like a huge appeal for you.
Oh yeah, of course. Because I mean, if you think about it in a Web 2 mindset, like you gotta, first build the following, which is, I mean, kind of similar here. Because I mean, community building is like a huge part of the whole NFT game. But I mean, in the Web 2 perspective, you gotta build the following, then you've got to find agents that are willing to work with you and push out your content, and then like you said, they take like a huge chunk of all that out of it. So like when you sit there and think about all the stuff you have to go through in that scenario, it's like, well, I don't really want to do this and starve forever, so I'm just going to go work this 9-to-5 job and hate my life for the next 70 years or what have you. So like when I finally like got my head wrapped around this whole Web3 thing, I was like, wait, so I could actually do something with the stuff that I love doing, and then that's what kind of kickstarted this whole thing. And like what initially started as like, I can make some money and do something with myself, like kind of then bred into like hey, I'm meeting all these awesome people, and especially the wax community, they're like so supportive of each other. Like I sit in a couple different Twitter chats and stuff, and like anytime someone has like a new drop or something, they'll post it, and a bunch of us will go and like retweet it and heart it, and a lot of us are just in there supporting each other, for pennies on a dime, because the wax blockchain is so freaking cheap. So
yeah.
it's
I
like
used
every
to
little bit
joke
helps.
that people don't like wax because they thought of it as like the poor people platform. And that's early on. There wasn't a lot on there, and it was cheap to mint, so there wasn't as many quality projects. But that, like I mentioned right at the beginning of the show, that is changing. You're seeing tweets. Your friends, I'm starting to get in with some of them. Seeing their stuff, and I'm retweeting them because they're just great projects. Even someone like the one-on-one artists that I follow, like at Woman NFT, Stacy, she's really an amazing person. She's like been on every platform, and now she's like, now I'm on Wax for some of this. And you're just like, this is where you start to see like everyone's like, okay, we've tried all this stuff and we have art on all of these platforms, but we're going to try Wax now. And people really need to get rid of the mindset of like, it doesn't have to be Ethereum. It doesn't have to be OpenSea. It doesn't have to be that specific platform. And that's just what people want.
You can still sell an NFT on the Wax blockchain for $1 million.
Yeah.
And reap most of the profit from that, from not having to pay all the ridiculous gas fees.
Yeah. And that's what's amazing. I think I sold a Shohei Ohtani. He's a two-way pitcher hitter for the Los Angeles Angels in baseball. I don't know how much you actually follow sports now, but I think I sold it for like couple $100, like not too long ago, and I blew it all like trying to cross it over or something. And I was just like, well, lesson learned. Tom's not smart enough to do all this shit, but I could tell other people what not to do. So
well, I mean, that's still a good way to bring value to your community too. Because I mean, you can just fail in front of a bunch of fucking people and be like, well, this isn't the way to do it, guys. So I hope you learned something here.
So I think we went off track a little bit. You were talking about like I could use my art and I could kind of create some money. But how did the Giraffe project kind of start?
I don't know. Like one day I was like kind of reminiscing and thinking about like high school and stuff. My friends used to call me Giraffe all the time because I'm 6'4".
Dang,
on a good day when my back isn't all crunched up. I need to go to the chiropractor again because I'm pretty sure I'm like 6'2" right now. But yeah, my friends used to call me Giraffe in high school, and I was just sitting there kind of like reminiscing. And I was like, I'm gonna draw this picture of a giraffe. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And it was like right about the time that I was getting into the whole NFT thing. And like the biggest thing I was seeing at the time, of course, was Basie, Bored Ape Yacht Club. Everyone knows about Basie, and so I was like, oh, so it's like a profile picture thing, and that's kind of cool. And so I like just started drawing all these different giraffes, and then like one thing led to another. I was freaking minting them on the Wax blockchain, and everyone loves them for some reason. I don't know. I kind of deal with that imposter syndrome. Like really, like
me bad imposter. I feel it, and I think that's why we bond a lot. Is we kind of have that same vibe. Like I don't belong here. I don't. Like, what am I doing? Why do people like me? Why do people like my art? And, I could tell you, I mean, your art's right up there in the corner above your head. That is just the coolest, cutest looking giraffe, Snoopy hat, the glasses, the tie. And you're like, oh, that took like 38 seconds. And I was just like blown away because I could never create anything like that. And it's just like, just because something is like, simple doesn't mean it's simple, and it doesn't mean it's easy. It's just like it's a simple, clean image to me. You know what I mean? Like you could tell me you put 180 hours in that, and I'd be like, that is amazing because it's so simple, so clean, and I just like it. You are very talented, and you're talented, but it's just great to see that you're having
inflating my head, Tom. You can't do this to me, man. I gotta stay humble.
No, you don't. Not all the time. Sometimes you gotta wake up. See, this is what your friends are for. We're like, hey man, we're gonna lift you up. because your mind is going to take you down. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to balance out, and people do it for me. So don't think I'm just, not. Yeah, you tried to do it to me earlier, like, hey man, are you okay? Do we need to push the show? And I'm like, no, that's just kind of normal, depressed Tom trying to make a joke to try to, make everyone feel okay. But yeah, it's just like, gotta lift your brothers up. Like, you're a good looking dude. You got the hot wife, you got a sweet baby, you got, Pokemon cards, you got an NFT that's kicking ass. And it's nothing's perfect. You've got your struggles, and I'm not going to downplay that, but sometimes you just got to have someone be like, hey man, you're awesome. You've got some awesome stuff. But I mean, and if you know me on Twitter, that's kind of what I am. I'm just like a cheerleader. I simp for everyone. But I mean it, Stacy's the Honey's, her stuff sold out. That's that. I was really happy for her. She said, I W King Simp, and that's my little Twitter headline, but it's true, like, if I like you, I see your tweet, it could be about anything. You could be like, oh man, the romaine at, Kroger was a little limp today. It's kind of sucked. Tom retweet, Tom like, it's just because, like, I like you so much. I just like, it just makes me happy, these interactions. And then, I'll, the conversations I come with them. And that's like, you were talking about that. Like, you meet interesting people, like really interesting people. Do you have someone that like mentored you getting into this space, or like the Wax Wax blockchain, especially because you mentioned them being so awesome?
So if we talk about my transfer into Wax as like, its thing, it kind of really is like the whole turning point for me for like this whole thing. And I can literally pinpoint it to like an exact moment in time. So there was this space going on, hosted by Warupan. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
Actually, I'm not sure. I might be friends with them, but
I think you might have been in that space, and I hopped in just because I saw you there, and it was like a game show that he was doing. No.
The only space I've ever been in was your space, where my buddy came in to do the auction.
Somebody else. I don't know why I thought it was you. Sorry, I got really bad
I'm just
ADHD,
that cool.
So
everyone thinks I'm everywhere, and I'm literally
nowhere.
Hey, didn't I see you out with Kanye? He's like, no, I don't leave the house, but keep telling people that.
Anyways, Warupan, he hosts this game show every Thursday, and I just thought it was like the coolest thing. So I was like, you know what, I'll stick around for this. I was just like bored, kind of hopping around spaces, like, I stuck around, and I ended up winning this piece from Crypto Kumas. Like, we did the game show thing. I came in like second or third place, maybe. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I ended up winning this piece from Crypto Kumas.
I am familiar with Crypto Kumas, so
yeah. And then he we got to talking and stuff, and then he was like telling me like about the Wax blockchain, and he like noticed my giraffe in my profile picture, and he was like, "Well, what's that all about? Like, you got your own project or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was back when I was like originally planning to release on not Polygon, on Solana.
Solana,
yeah. I was originally planning on releasing on Solana using the Canyon machine, and then he was telling me about Wax, and he was telling me about the community and how the community over on Wax is just like a whole bunch of stoners that just likes making art and hanging out and just vibing. And I was like, bro, that is my crowd right there. Like, I need to give this a shot. And literally, I minted like he helped me get all set up with my Wax wallet. Sorry, I got to backtrack here a little bit.
No.
I get ahead of myself all the time. But yeah, he helped me set up my Wax wallet, and I was like, so how do you mint, blah, blah, blah. And he was like walking me through all this stuff. And I ended up minting, I want to say, was it 8 pieces that night? And that was the same run of giraffes that you'd kind of jip me on. I don't hold it against you.
You get royalties on that, right?
Yeah.
So if I just like mark it up to like 10,000 wax, and we'll be even.
I'm kidding. But yeah, he ended up helping me get minted and all that, and literally like that weekend, and until like I think it was 2 days later, I want to say I minted 10 giraffes, and all 10 of them had sold out in like less than 2 days at 20 wax a piece, which is back then was like around $5 or so. So
Yeah.
I mean that was amazing because I hadn't sold anything until just then. So I had like a real like come to Jesus moment, like like this could be a thing, but at the same time dealing with that whole imposter syndrome, like I shouldn't be. This, no, it does not compute, you know. But yeah, that's how I got started on wax, and the rest has been history.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome that you're getting sales, but I honestly feel like you're cheating yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you see these other projects are like $500 just a mint, and you're like, mine's $5. You know, it's amazing stuff. Look at that kid.
Baby.
Oh,
He's going to bed.
oh, good night, Liam. Night,
Say
night.
Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye, world.
He doesn't
Ah, he's so
understand, like, while it's on
cute.
there and looking around.
Oh, he's so adorable.
Hi, baby.
How much for the baby?
No, you can't have my baby.
I want to. My wife, she keeps talking about like, I want all the dogs, and I'm like, I want all the babies, and we'll just have a baby and puppy farm. It's gonna be amazing. Oh,
Baby puppy farm. No.
Oh, it's like, I don't know who's having more fun here, Leah. Oh man, seriously, you just love babies so much. Nothing makes me happier than like baby laughing, my wife laughing, but babies laughing, and
Well, I
that
mean,
was
if
so
you
great.
follow me on TikTok and then inadvertently follow my wife, you'll see a bunch of baby videos.
I probably will once you give me your TikTok. I'll follow her too because she's a cool gal. So
Yeah, she's more active on there anyway. So
yeah, my wife, she does the Instagram stuff, and I started doing that too just so I could get OnlyFans verified. It's a difficult process to get OnlyFans verified. I don't know if it's because I was a dude or because I look like this or what, but man, they put me through the ringer to get it. And yeah, it's for a joke, but still, like, I wanted a verified OnlyFans account. Like, don't shame me. So yeah, your buddy helped you get on wax, and then you saw that like this community appreciates me and I'm selling out. How are you doing your drops?
So at first it was like really sporadic, and like I kind of let the rush get to me, and I was like overproducing and stuff. But I've really gotten myself back down to where I'll do a guaranteed run of 9 new giraffes to the herd to drop every wax Wednesday.
Okay.
And then usually I'll try to get something out on like the weekend, like on a Saturday. I'll run an auction for like a special 1-of-1 that I drew up that week or something. So I try to commit to that, but sometimes I overproduce because I just get like super in the zone and like just mad create like one night, which I then kind of kicked myself in the ass for later, because then I realized like, oh crap, now I don't really have the energy to like want to do this, and I'm running out of art. So I'm still working on trying to find that balance,
Yeah, and I bet it's probably hard to bank it, like, hey, I was crazy beans busy this week. I created 30 giraffes, but to not just throw them all up, be excited, to be like, no, I can only do my normal. I'll bank these so I could take time off. I'm sure it's still like super hard to do that.
Oh, for sure, because like I'm always like focused and determined on like doing the next thing. Like I'm working on a card game right now. That
you hinted that to me.
Bit, if you want
as much as you want. And a reason, Cole, he's a big World of Warcraft guy, and he saw I was playing Hearthstone and World of Warcraft, so he DM'd me about that. And when he said like, hey, I might be doing a card game, I was like, I absolutely want to test it, because I played Magic in high school. I played about 30 different trading card collectible games, online and offline. So I'm not the best at them, but I enjoy them a lot. So I would be excited. And even if I'm not, testing it, just excited to know about it just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
It's like I'm 22 again, collecting Lord of the Rings
Right.
trading cards. So
yeah, I mean, if you like Hearthstone, you'll like this, because I took a lot of inspiration from it with designing the cards and stuff. Which, I mean, a lot of games do, because there's not a whole lot you can do with like an RPG type card game.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
you can have attack and defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of other stuff you can do and keep it simple and fun. You can have 900 stats, but no one's going to play that. So,
yeah. I mean, even Magic the Gathering is like kind of pushing the envelope a little bit for me on like things I got to remember.
I just, I played.
I love Magic. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, I see cards now and I'm like, I can't do this game. There's no way I can play Magic now. I don't even know, why is this card like this and have steps? What is this? Is this a quest in Magic? Like, yes, I'm so old. Cole, help me out.
Yeah. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Magic the Gathering, and I mean, I could play it. I've learned it now at this point, but like, it's definitely not new user friendly, which is like something like Hearthstone and other games like that have really like kind of done, is like made it super user friendly. Like, you got like a handful of stats you got to worry about, like the attack, defense, and then there's like maybe 10 different types of skills, that the cards can do or whatever. And so like, that's really what I aim for, is making this kind of super simple like that as well. I like to keep things simple, Tom.
Yeah. I was going to say, I remember Magic was so complicated 20 years ago. They released a set called Portal that was supposed to make it simple for everyone to play. And I'm just thinking, that was 20 years ago. Do they still have a Portal Magic the Gathering set? Because that is what I need. Like, what is a commander? What is a quest thing? What is the this commander style, put 400 cards in your deck and play, like all these game types they've created now. And it's just like, can I get a Portal for that? Like, just keep it easy on me, man. Like, but no, that's going to be, you're going to use your giraffes. You mentioned maybe other people adding to the cards.
Yeah. So one thing I thought was really cool that I, kind of envision that I haven't really seen done with really any game in general, is giving like the community the, option to like, make their specific art style or like, characters or whatever into a pack as well. And like, we really kind of all just build this game together and stuff,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously there would still be a lot of work to go into balancing the game and stuff like that, which is why we'll need play testing, of course, at some point. But just have users like be able to drop their art in and maybe give them a certain set of stipulations, like like you'll need this amount of cards that cost this mana and this amount of cards that cost this mana, or we're calling them power crystals in our game, but it's the same concept.
Yeah, same concept. Yeah, because you do have to be like, okay, for this amount of mana, you get this, or, this amount of cost, you get this amount of stats and this amount of abilities. Because then otherwise, if, you let people just do whatever they want, they're like, one power crystal does 900 damage and you only get 30 life. So, you can't do that. But you can find ways to inspire creativity, because there's going to be ways other people are going to think of cards you would never think of. Like, they could think of a card that's really cheap but has a really like high risk effect, something that's like, lose half your life, but you get this crazy card, that it's going to take a couple turns to ramp up, so like you're really gonna, just these things like that. It's going to be it just sounds super super fun. And I have a friend, the Aliens, AYYY, Aliens guy. He's making a game.
I follow him.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and he's doing like the old Grand Theft Auto, like the original one for the PlayStation, up, top view down. And I played that the other day, and it's like it was a broken alpha. I got to play for like 10 minutes. I was like, this is cool. Like, imagine if my character was the one that I was controlling. Imagine if like something I earned in the game, carried on later. Like, you certain amount of currency you earn, goes to like a coin. There's just so many things that people just see the profile pictures and they're not thinking like, what can I do with this or what's going to happen with it? Because they just see the cash grabs and the rug pulls and we're going to pay an artist on Fiverr to, make 10,000 gorilla sleeping, AV clubs, and make their millions and then disappear forever because it's anonymous. You're doxxed, I'm doxxed, it's not scary to be out there. And unless you're, shady and want to hide your wealth for some reason. And I get that, man. The feds, screw the feds. Stay out of my wallet. But Tom's broke, so he doesn't have to worry about that. But it's just nice. Like all the people like I'm really friends with, I know their names. I know who they are, and it just, there's just something about it where it's like, okay, I didn't like, they're friends and I'm going to support their project. But like, even if I didn't know them this well, just knowing the little bit, like I could get behind this. Like I could get behind you. Everyone can now. They know your story. A little bit of your story, but you're
very little bit.
Super awesome, guy and so talented. I used to go about an hour, so there's like 10 minutes or so left. I just kind of want to give this up to you. Like, anything you want to talk about specifically, or anything you want to go over, or?
Not really. As far as the game goes, we're super, super early. I haven't even finished designing the playmat yet. I can send you some pictures and stuff later. I'm sure you might have seen it. Actually, you're in my Discord. If you go into the Crypto Creature Clash tab in my Discord channel.
Okay.
I literally post every single card that I make. I posted a screenshot of the playmat that I was working on, as well as we finished up the back for the card as well. There's not a whole lot done on that front yet, because we're still like, I literally conceptualized this idea like last week, bounced it around in my head for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
I made a card just for fun, to kind of play around with design concepts and stuff. And then I really got to thinking like, okay, yeah, this is, I'm behind this. I can do this. And so that's kind of where we're at right now.
I do want to apologize because I'm bad at Discord. Like I'm in so many, but I used to be more active in yours, but I've just had a rough week a couple weeks ago, and things are tight. But you are super active in your Discord. You're posting there a lot.
I try.
Yeah. From what I've seen from creators, your Discord's great. The aliens, he's great. The Duck people, they're great because I'm doing it. We're more active now because I'm in there trying to keep them all going. So that's what you need to find. People say do your own research. It's hard, but basically they just want to tell you, don't listen to me, do it yourself. But what you need to do is you need to interact with people on Twitter. Then you need to like join their Discord. Then you need to just DM them or have a little chat like this, or listen to them in spaces and find out like who they are. I don't think you're going to try to rip me off of millions of dollars. I think you're just, like you said, I want to do something that shows my son like, hey, your dad did this and you could do it, and you could probably do it better because you're awesome, kid. And this is how we paid for you to go to school that you dropped out of because you're too high on coke all the time because you got trillions of dollars in your bank account. But
one can only hope, but I also hope that I can pass along that humility and compassion for other humans and stuff too that I have to this day.
Yeah. That's what I like about you, because you are a genuine guy. You really do. It's not about the money. It's about more like, I have skills. It's about the journey. And I want to show that I can do it and show my kid. But you're so nice, and it's so much fun talking to you, man. Like, I love you, man. It's it's great,
bro. You're gonna make me cry on live video audience. We can't be having this right now, Tom.
I know. I don't need to make people cry, but I want people, because people have called me fake and people have called me a simp for like the bad reasons. But I want people to know, like, no, my heart is pure. Like, I don't love everyone just because, you know, I say that, or because, you know, they follow me on Twitter. I talk to people. I'm, you know, I retweet and we engage. And those are the people that are like, man, you know, that I really, you know, hits me right here. And I just want to see, like, I want, you know, I want to be doing 80-year-old TikToks and then have your kid be like, hey, you remember my dad? Yeah, we're rich. And he was on your show one time. Nice to see you. Still got the Snoopy hat, you know? And that would just be like the most amazing thing in the world, you know? Like, it is just so much fun.
If I ever got like that big, and I know a lot of people say this, and then like usually when someone comes into money, it like turns around and doesn't end up being the cases. But in the era of not being super cliche, I would say that like you've been super pivotal in my, you know, just being here. That, you know, I'd definitely spread the love if if I ever got to that point, man.
I just want to go to, you know, the cocaine and sex Hollywood parties, and not to do cocaine or sex because I don't do drugs or, you know, cheat on my wife, but just to hang out and say I was at one, you know. So if you guys ever make it rich, invite me to those crazy Eyes Wide Shut parties and just let me be like, I was at one of those once. Let me tell you what's crazy, you know. And I just want the stories and the experience. I don't, you know. But man, I'm excited because I can't wait for you to, you know, send me the links to your stuff that you want me to do. Share this, and this is one of those, you know, all my shows are great for me because what I do is I battle my depression by talking to my friends online on a show. Instead of just moping around, I, you know, do this twice a week and it helps. You know, I'm doing something. I'm committed. You know, you're saying like, you know, it helps you keep going, you know, when you're doing stuff and you're seeing a little bit of success. I'm not seeing success in like money or, you know, anything crazy like that. I'm seeing success in I'm getting to know my friends better. I'm bad at deep connections, and we didn't go too deep, you know, in your like backstory. I don't know your soul. I don't know what motivates you. I don't know your first crush or anything like that. But I mean, that could come later. But it's just like this first step. Like, this is why I love Cole. And then to show everyone, and then, you know, hey, if 4 or 5 people watch this and then follow you, and then you like get involved, like I get involved at just like a quarter of that level, like, you know, that means a lot to me. My buddy Che, Ian Sports Cards, you know, I jumped in with your space one time, and, you know, he's like, I really like the Giraffe. I'm going to put a bid on it, you know, and that was cool. And he's like, I think he lost out on one, and then he tried to win some others, and he mistimed it, you know, and he felt bad. But it's like, just you doing that, Che, helping my friend, and you got to see his art because of me. That means a lot, you know, not, you know,
Yeah.
makes me feel like I am a real influencer. And we know, you know, I like to joke about it, but there are those times when like you're making that small difference, and that small difference lifts Cole up. You know what I mean? Like, someone bid this on my art. That's amazing. And I didn't ask Che to do that. You know, Che's like, I like this. This is what I'm going to throw down on it, you know? And it's great. And then I just want to see more of that from everyone, you know, like, let's find our friends. Let's find our small projects. Let's find the people that we trust and we love that are just just on the grind, you know. And yeah, lots of people are grinding, but the way they're grinding is in DMs saying, you know, give me 0.3 ETH and I'll retweet your stupid project. I don't care what it is. You just pay me money, you know? And it's like,
Yeah.
I can't pay, you know, $1,000 for you to one retweet, you know, like that's insane, man. No, just retweet your friends and pump your friends up. Because if your friends look at the smile on this dude's face right now, like that's worth more than, you know, any crypto. Well, I mean, I'd take a Bitcoin to wipe that smile off your face, but
Oh man. I mean, I wouldn't say
do
no to a Bitcoin for a few things. I mean, I don't think I'd go as far as murder, but I wouldn't say no to a Bitcoin for maybe a couple raunchy things.
Oh man, I think it's about time to wrap it up. Any last words you have? Anything you want to say? Anyone you want to shout out that's important to you that we haven't talked about?
I want to shout out the Duck Butts. They've been like super supportive of me. Tidbits, the creator of the Duck Butts,
I've seen those. They're cute.
Oh yeah. Wait till you see the giraffe butt. It's
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, their community has been super supportive of me. I mean, you got Byron, you got Morbs, you got NFT Alley Cats, all these great people. I mean, you see me shilling their stuff all the time. They're wonderful people. I love them all. They've all been super supportive of me, and I try to show them that same love back, which is why I'm broke like all the time because I'm spending all my wax on my friends.
Hey babe, I sold 10 giraffes, but I bought 12 duck butts. So
yeah, that's exactly it.
Sorry, we got to eat ramen again. You make the point, and I make this point a lot too. Like, if one of your good friends says, "Hey, follow these people because they're awesome," follow those people. Just give it a shot. Because that's how you find other awesome people. And if they're not that awesome, then who cares? You can just unfollow them. Or if you see someone be like, "Hey, I like this art," and you like that art, follow that artist. If that artist is following 2,000 people and has 150 followers, but you like their art, follow them. I mean, if it's legit, of course, if it's not some scammer stealing art, but numbers, people get focused on the numbers, and it's like those numbers don't matter. If you like someone, listen to them. If you like what someone does, follow them and support them. And that's my huge thing, is because from you, I found like other friends. I haven't gotten as connected with them, but I've talked to them in DMs, and I've like you're really great. Like I wish I wasn't so poor. Baseball cards took up my most of my money, and now it's trying to get that crypto over. That's my next goal, is to focus more on that. Like I want to get some wax so I can increase my RAM, so I can actually start getting into the projects that you keep posting. But yeah, that's just be your cheerleader for your friends. It takes nothing. Yeah. Don't just like something, retweet it.
It costs $0 to help your friends out. All you got to do is click 2 buttons.
I think I don't know.
That could mean even more than the few dollars you would spend on your friends.
Yeah, because you could get to the right eyes, or you find a friend that's actually has the money to carry your or buy your friend's stuff. I did want to say, I think I want to start doing, I was against this horribly, but spaces. I am a spaces new person, a newbie. I kind of want to do it for my project that I'm involved with, which is the Duck Bucks, not the Duck Butts. But I want to bring in artists to have, talks, and just, like this story here, you just share your experience with people. So I think I'm going to reach out once I figure this out. I'd love to have you, help me out with some of those if you're up for it some nights.
I'm willing.
Yeah, I just want to spread this, like, like the singer-songwriter, you know what I mean? Like the artists, creators, those small people that have just brilliant work that gets overlooked by the, the pop media mash in your face. And just have these little small spaces of like, hey, this is how you do it. This is how we do it. This is what I like and don't like, and what I found, and just kind of help the small folks. So,
and I'm super new. I'm super new to the whole NFT community thing too. So, I mean, if you want to follow along and like, my DMs, I'm pretty sure are open. They might not be. I'm kind of still really noobish on Twitter, but I mean, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to at me or anything like that. So, I mean, I'm still super new to this and learning as I go. So, I mean, I'm more than willing to share experiences with people. So,
yeah. Well, Cole, you've been amazing. Like the babies, just your story. We like so much of the same stuff. The video games, the Pokemon. It's really great. And I didn't know a lot of this stuff until I did this show. This is why I do this show. It's like, I like this guy. I know he likes some games, but I'll ask him more about it. And it's like almost exactly my favorite games or his favorite games. He collects cards. I collect cards. This is why you need to talk to your friends. And this is why I have the Tom Show. It's like, I love these people. You don't have to love them, but if you like me, you like him. You'll like him more than me. He's far less annoying than I am. He's actually humble. you know. So give him a follow.
And I don't have a verified OnlyFans account.
That's the only drawback, you know. You are a handsome looking dude. You're 6'4", so I'm sure you can do all kinds of moves.
I keep trying to convince my wife.
Yeah, my wife was like, if we do the feeder thing where you just shove cake in my face, like we can do that. I'm like, but I don't get to eat cake.
Oh man.
Oh, it's fun having wives with amazing senses of humor.
Yeah,
see,
definitely.
one of my best friends, he's 6'4", you know, and I'm like barely 6 foot, maybe a little under now. 6'4", that's huge even to me. I'm just, sir. Yeah, you don't look 6'4". You probably just slouched, or in your pictures you're leaned back, you know, riding. But man, you big old boy.
Yeah.
And that's what's also so cute is, you know, like a nickname that could have been endearing, but also could have been a little problematic for you in high school. You know, like, hey, that kind of, you know, hurts. I don't like to be called that, but then you own it. You know, that's kind of how most nicknames start in, you know, bro high school days. But now it's like part of you, you know, like I'm right there, Raph Boss. You know,
I'm
the Giraffe Boss. Well, I'll give you the last words, and then we'll get out of here and enjoy the rest of our nights. So,
follow the Tom Show.
Thank you, Cole. I'm going to hit the music, and you can bounce out whenever you're ready.